What up, everybody? Today is a lovely, cloudy, crappy day. Yeah. The question for today, and you can, of course, remember, ooh, jiggly, jiggly. That's Massachusetts roads for you, and the camera just moved. Here, why don't we adjust it? Oh, that sound that you hear is my car sucking. It used to only ding while I went around corners, and now it dings basically every time I do anything. That's not just like driving in one direction. So, today's question, and please feel free to leave a comment or make a video response. The question is, what would you miss the most if you suddenly went blind? Like, well, not what would you miss the most, but like what would you miss seeing the most if you became blind? For me, I think I would miss, it'd be two faces, either my wife or my son. And to narrow it down, I think it'd honestly be my son. Babe, I'm sorry, because I've seen my wife a bunch. I know what she looks like, so I have a better, and like, she's not gonna change. See, that's the thing too. So like, because like my son will totally change, and like, so when he's 22, I wouldn't even know what he looks like. I'd still have this image of him as a baby, but like on a grown man's body. That'd be kind of cool to see. I wonder if, I wish I could like Google that right now, but I definitely don't use my phone while I drive, so, hands on the wheel. I'm a very safe driver. See, that's the thing about me, is that I go on these little thoughts of baby heads on adults. There's gotta be somebody like that. Ooh, look at the guy in the car next to me. Yeah, I would definitely miss seeing my son the most. Like, my son's great because, or I guess being like a dad is great, being a parent's great, because for me, whenever I think of my son, like, I smile, like his little face, and I noticed the other day that he had a dimple like right here. He's got like two of them. It's like the way he smiles. He's just so great, and I would hate to not be able to see him develop into a man ultimately, you know, develop as a person over time. That would just be terrible. I think other than like my wife or my son, what would I miss seeing the most? Well, I wouldn't really be able to like use my phone in the same way, and I use my phone like all day for everything, for like staying organized, for like taking photos. It's definitely my camera. It's my video camera, as you can see right here. So that would suck, like not being able to see your technology. Oh my gosh, you know what would be terrible? Drawing. So I just recently, and I like forever and ever was, you know, I'd always draw and like make art. And is this sticking out right here? Man, my hair and my beard do really funny things. It's probably because I run my hands through them constantly. Not because like I'm trying to like constantly be sexy. I don't have to try, because I am naturally sexy. I was born that way. But like I'm always like thinking and putting my hand on my head. Total side note there. What was I saying? Yeah, like drawing, that would suck. You wouldn't be able to draw anything. You wouldn't be able to write. I guess you'd be able to write. You could still write. You could definitely still write. That'd be fine. You could use a keyboard. You know what? If I were blind, I'd become really great at using a keyboard, like typing keyboard. And I'm sure even better at music. That might actually be a benefit. That might be a benefit of being blind. It'd allow you more time to focus on audio things, on auditorial, auditory, I don't even know the word. Auditory? All right, you can correct me in the comments. Thank you very much. But let's go back. So drawing would be terrible. Like, I just kind of got back into drawing and like making art and stuff, and I'm loving it. It's so great. It's like this amazing outlet. I love to, like, when I come home, for like ever, it'd be like, you know, sit on the computer and watch this and do that, whatever, or like look at your phone. And now it's been great because I get home and I draw, and like that satisfaction you get after you make something and you can look at it, and you know, there's a story behind it perhaps, or you know, it does something to you. When you create, after you create your creation, it always does something for you. Like, it feels gratifying. You made something. Making things is like my favorite. Speaking of making things, I made my son, and that I think is definitely what I would miss the most. And so it'd be like I'd miss seeing my son's face and like watching him develop for like his whole life and see what he turns out to look like. I'm always curious like what he's gonna look like when he's older. Interesting thought. There should be like an app for that. So that's number one, my son. Number two, my wife, because I love my wife and she's pretty and I love her smile. My wife has a great smile. At least if I couldn't see her face, I could still hear her laugh. I love hearing my wife laugh. I love making my wife laugh. I do that very often, I like to think. Sometimes she just rolls her eyes, which is acceptable. I'll take that. But I love making my wife laugh. So I would miss seeing her face. And then right below that, on the 1 to 3 of things that I would miss seeing if I were blind, is definitely my drawings. It wouldn't be the same gratification. And I mean, I guess I could still make music and stuff, like I said, but you know, I feel like I was born drawing. Like I always drew as a kid. That was like my thing. Like I was that kid in class that could draw really well. So that's mine. That is actually a list of things that I would miss if I went blind. So leave a comment, leave a video response. Let me know if you went blind, what would you miss seeing the most? And if you're already blind, you're probably not watching this video. If you're already blind, you can hear me. But it would have been really hard, like, actually getting to the video. So you know what? I think it's safe to say no blind people are probably watching this. So, all people who can see, what would you miss seeing the most if you became blind? Video response or comment, put it down there. I love you guys. You be good. Thank you for joining me on my drive home.